Sergeant at Arms, please call our January 7th, 2025 council meeting to order. I would like to recognize our chaplain of the day, Pastor Gregory Askew from Jubilee Church of God in Christ, invited by Councilwoman Logan. Pastor Askew, would you please lead us in prayer?
Can we bow our heads? Father, we thank you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies. We thank you for all of the things that you do for us. And before we ask you of anything, we want to honor and thank you for what you've already done. You kept us last year, dangers seen and unseen. You blessed this great city, even though problems may exist, but we're still a great city because you are our God. Crime is down, but we still have work to do. And for every council person in this place, in this great city, we thank you. We thank you for the mayor. We thank you for Chief Davis. We thank you for everyone who makes this city what it is today in a great way. Now, God, we ask for peace in this city. We ask for peace among the council members. We ask for protection and provision. Peace, because without peace, we cannot have the rest that you designed for us. Protection, because if you don't keep us, we cannot be kept. And provision for those who cannot provide for themselves. You're the God who said, I can supply all of your need according to my riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Then, Father, we pray for healing for those who are broken, those who are in turmoil, for the mental diseased. God, give them peace and what we need in this great city. And as these days continue on and the months and the weeks continue on, let the crime rate continue to drop. Let men's hearts be so touched and convicted by the presence of God that they turn from their wicked ways. And we'll forever give you the glory and praise, because when it's all over, it's all about you. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Pastor Askew, thank you for praying with us and over us today. Councilwoman Logan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Just like to show our gratitude to Pastor Askew, who is such a tremendous force in District 1. We really appreciate you coming down today, and just want to read this into your hearing. By the City Council, greetings. Be it hereby known that Pastor Gregory Askew, in recognition of a life of exemplary qualities, outstanding service to the city, meritorious involvement in humanitarian affairs, and demonstrated concern for governmental process, has been appointed Chaplain of the Day of the Memphis City Council, and is hereby entitled to all of the honors, rights, privileges, and prerogatives appertaining to the office, and to the display of this certificate, given under this seal this 7th day of January, 2025. J. Ford Canale, Chairman. Rhonda Logan, member of the Council, District 1. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We have a gift, a token.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Madam Comptroller, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilmember Carlisle. Cooper Sutton. Present. Easter Thomas. Present. Ford. Present. Green. Present. Logan. Present. Spinoza. Here. Smiley. Walker. Present. Warren. Present. Swearingen Washington. Present. White. Chairman Canale.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. I believe Vice Chair Swearingen Washington has read the minutes for our December 17, 2024 meeting.
Thank you, Chair. I have reviewed the minutes and find them to be in order. I move for the adoption of the December 17, 2024 meeting minutes.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for meeting minutes of December 17th.
Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Welcome to the January 7, 2025 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has the full opportunity to be heard, and the deliberate process of the council is retained at all times. The Sergeant at Arms has meeting agendas available up front, as well as comment cards for members of the public wishing to be heard on a specific item. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment card to the Sergeant at Arms before the item is called. If you are not here to speak on a specific item, you can note your request to give general comment at the end of the meeting. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly register to speak by submitting a completed comment request card to the Sergeant at Arms. Members of the audience and persons addressing the council will not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory, personal, slanderous, or profane comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. The chairperson of the council may maintain order by giving any persons who are in violation of the stated rules of decorum a warning to cease violative conduct in order to leave the council's chambers, or by giving an order for security personnel to remove any disruptive person in the council's chambers who refuses to leave voluntarily. These rules are posted on the doors as you enter the chamber and as you pick up comment cards. So all that being said, I will ensure to you that the 13 of us will show you respect, and we ask the same from you. Items 3 and 4 will be held until February 4th. Dr. Warren, you're recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'd like to withdraw the hold on items 3 and 4.
I'll object to that.
I'd like to have a vote.
Madam Comptroller, will you make that special item 1? This is a motion to withdraw the hold on items 3 and 4 from the main agenda. So, colleagues, before you vote on special item 1, a yes would leave the items 3 and 4 on the agenda this evening. A no would move items 3 and 4 to the February 4th, 2025 meeting.
I think he needs to be there in a second.
All right. All right, Madam Comptroller, the motion was made by Warren, seconded by Cooper Sutton. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for special item 1. Again, a yes leaves item 3 and 4 on the agenda this evening. A no moves items 3 and 4 to the February 4th agenda.
Carlisle, no. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, no. Spinoza, no. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, no. Walker, no. Warren, yes. Chairman Canali, no.
That motion fails. Items 3 and 4 will be held until the February 4th, 2025 agenda. Item 9 will be held until January 21st, 2025. Item 12 will be held until January 21st, 2025 on the consent agenda for second reading. Madam Comptroller, please call item number 1.
Item number 1 is a resolution honoring Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey as recipients of the 2024 Humanitarian Award. This resolution is sponsored by the Memphis City Council.
Councilwoman Walker, you're recognized.
What? No, it matches my outfit. That's why I wore it. See the gray and the gray. Thank you. David, I want you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great pride and pleasure that I am presenting this award today, our Humanitarian Award. It's the annual award presented by the council to deserving individuals, and today we have 2 deserving individuals. I will refer to them collectively as a power couple. And on the other side of them is their son, David Jr. And to my left, we have their pastor, Reverend Watkins of Mount Vernon Baptist Church in Westwood, which is, Westwood is the neighbor to Whitehaven. First cousins. And also flanking me, we have Reverend Dr. Kevin Brooks with Providence AME, and he is a community partner with our honorees today, David and Yvonne Acey. Whereas Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey are visionary leaders whose unwavering commitment to excellence and service has profoundly impacted their community and left an enduring legacy. And whereas rooted in their ancestral heritage from Africa, Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey's journey embodies resilience, compassion, and an enduring dedication to uplifting others, fostering empowerment, and creating opportunities for success. And whereas Dr. David Acey is a proud veteran who served his country as a military policeman in the United States Army, exemplifying discipline, leadership, and courage. And whereas Mrs. Yvonne Acey, a tireless advocate for social justice and women's empowerment, has led initiatives that elevate marginalized voices, advancing equity, exclusivity, and social transformation. And whereas Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey's vast expertise spans education, healthcare, and entrepreneurship, where their innovative contributions have driven transformative change and created a lasting legacy of progress. And whereas one of their most remarkable and enduring contributions is their internationally recognized Africa in April Cultural Awareness Festival, which they founded in 1986 as a $50 scholarship fund, now the largest Black-owned festival of its kind in the United States and the 6th largest globally. This event draws participants from across the African diaspora and has directly contributed to over 20 Africans relocated to Memphis, making it their home. And whereas for over 35 years, the African April Cultural Awareness Festival has celebrated African culture and heritage while continuing to contribute significantly to the economic fabric of Memphis, generating millions of dollars annually for the local economy and fostering cultural pride and awareness. And whereas Dr. David and Yvonne Acey's impact extends far beyond their festival work, as they have led initiatives to bridge socioeconomic divides, enhance access to education and healthcare, and promote community cohesion, all while solidifying Memphis, Tennessee as the cornerstone of their transformative work. And whereas Dr. David and Yvonne Acey's extraordinary dedication to service, civil rights, and cultural enrichment has earned them admiration, respect, and gratitude, locally and internationally. And whereas Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey continue to lead with purpose, vision, and a steadfast commitment to creating a more equitable and inclusive world for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council proudly recognizes and honors Dr. David and Mrs. Yvonne Acey as the recipients of the 2024 Humanitarian Award in recognition of their outstanding contributions to society, their transformative impact on Memphis, and their enduring legacy, inspiring hope, empowerment, and positive change. Adopted January 7th, 2025. Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations, Dr. and Mrs. Acey. What a well-deserving honor. We'd be happy if you would share some words with us. And Madam Comptroller, would you please share that approved by acclamation?
Hold on, do one more.
Get in.
Come on, get in.
Hold on, here comes JB too.
Come on down.
Everybody. Here comes everybody.
We all want in this thing.
Okay.
Got some more comments, got some more comments.
Humanitarian on three.
Everybody in? Everybody in? One more.
Got some?
Yeah, all 13.
We can't get 13 for a vote.
Okay, no, the first one was good.
Okay.
You're good. Okay.
We have a few comments. First, we're going to hear from Reverend Watkins of Mount Vernon.
Thank you, Councilwoman Walker, and thank each of you. Let me say how proud I am as a pastor, Dr. and Mrs. Yvonne Acey. Dr. and Mrs. Yvonne Acey have been a pillar of excellence and power and love at the Mount Vernon Baptist Church. And there are so many who would have liked to be here tonight. So I'm standing in representation of our entire church family. And I would like to say to you, Dr. and Mrs. Acey, job well done. You know, at Mount Vernon Baptist Church, we celebrate servant leadership and those who make so many lasting impacts. We have a long history and heritage. And Dr. and Mrs. Yvonne Acey are two who uphold that heritage. They are a beacon of hope And we're so grateful to God. All my entire life, I've been a member of Mount Vernon, and I have looked up to Mr. and Mrs. Acey. You know, they say we're shaped by many hands, and they have certainly been impactful in my life and have shaped so many throughout the years and in our city. So job well done. Congratulations. We love you. And I've never seen so many council members come down like this. And we're going to do it again on Sunday morning, okay? All right. Thank you. Congratulations.
Next, we're going to hear from Lachelle Vaughn.
Good evening, everyone. It is my sheer delight to come and to be with the ACs. Yvonne and David are like my mom, daddy, sister, soror, friend, honey-do. They are fantastic. We are Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority soror sisters. And I might even have gotten a ticket trying to get here because I would not let this moment go by without recognizing the humanitarians. You guys are Memphis, and you're all over the world. And because of you, we're all over the world. And so it is my delight on behalf of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority Beta Epsilon Omega chapter to stand here tonight to say thank you. Thank you for all that you've done. Thank you to the council for recognizing what you've done for Memphis, for the world. Thank you so much.
And lastly, we're going to hear from Reverend Dr. Kevin Brooks.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. At a time when diversity and equity and inclusion is under attack in our nation, it was beautiful to see, as Dr. Warren said, the council people to come down, that they indeed might stand up with the ACs, who have stood as a pillar unapologetically about the beauty of African culture. That Black folk has a history far more advanced than slavery, and they shouted it loud so that the world indeed might know that this city on the bluff is unapologetically celebrating all things that it means to be global, to be a global city. And so we honor you by honoring her. To God be the glory.
Next, we'll hear from our honorees. Ladies first, Mrs. Acey.
All right.
Thank you very much. Good evening. And honor our mayor, and I don't know who he is, but I want to make sure that he's recognized and respected for this particular event. We honor the councilman who had the vision and the leadership and the inspiration to make a difference, because we realize without service and without a mission, all things are possible and nothing is impossible. And I certainly want to appreciate you for your steadfastness, for your commitment, your dedication as we move into 2025. Let's keep going and realize that it's not about the cause, ladies, it's about the cause. Not about the applause sometimes, but today it's about the cause. And we're extremely grateful, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're with you forever and a day. It's about the cause, not the applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are deeply honored to receive this distinguished award from this distinguished council. You all are the keeper to the keys of the city. And whatever we can do to support Memphis, Shelby County, tourism, and all other things we strive to do, we really appreciate all of you all for the tremendous work that you do. And without you, it would not be us. So I'd like to thank Almighty God for allowing us to serve with pride and humility. And like Yvonne says, it's not about the applause, it's about the cause. So it was a great humility that we stand here on behalf of the Board of Directors of African April and all of those who are here to help us celebrate this occasion. So Pastor said it best, and our motto is the way you treat people is the way you treat God. So as long as life shall linger, we will be here trying to do what we can to make the world, the city of Memphis, better than when we found it. Thank you once again for your great recognition for us. Thank you.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Good to be back. Let me go back.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Smiley, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Canal. I think we were supposed to do this the last meeting of 2024, but one of us wasn't here. But, it's with great pleasure that I, pass the gavel to you. I know you're going to serve well, and I actually had an opportunity to spend some time in Bartlett this morning with some of their electeds, and, they asked me about, who the next chair would be, and I said, Councilman Cowley, they asked me about you. I said, what I know for sure is Councilman Cowley will keep his word. His yes will be yes, his no will be no, and he will serve with integrity. So, without further ado, congratulations, Chairman. You gotta bang it. You gotta bang it. The right way. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman Smiley. On behalf of this entire body, we are very appreciative of your leadership throughout all of 2024. Some moments being very challenging, but like I said in my email, you handled it with strength and grace. All of us are grateful for your leadership on this body, for your representation of all of the members of Super District 8, really all of Memphis. But what I'm most grateful for is your friendship. Job well done, my friend. God bless you. And with this, as a token of our appreciation for your wonderful leadership, this is for you.
Now I get to bang a gavel at my house.
Unbreakable.
Madam Comptroller, please call item 2.
Item number 2 is a resolution recognizing the promotions and appointments within the public safety divisions. This resolution is sponsored by Chairman Canale.
Chairman Canale, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. It's an honor, colleagues, to stand before you to recognize members of our public safety first responders who risk their lives taking care of each and every one of us every day. So I'm going to read this resolution, and then I'm going to let Chief Davis make a few comments. Whereas in emergency situations in the city of Memphis, the county's public safety employees, commonly called first responders, carry out the critical role of protecting and ensuring public safety. And whereas the Memphis Police Department and Memphis Fire Department act as a combined team in conjunction with partners from other agencies to rescue people from dangerous circumstances, secure dangers, treat the injured, and protect the lives and safety of people, regardless of the peril or hazard to themselves. And whereas the city of Memphis' first responders often risk their lives when responding to emergencies, and whereas the employees of the Memphis Police Department and Memphis Fire Department serve as first responder to protect the people of the city of Memphis every day, always available to provide a coordinated response to any emergency at any hour, under any condition and circumstances. And whereas rural firefighters provide suppression, emergency medical services, search and rescue, hazardous materials response, critical fire prevention, and safety education. And whereas public safety personnel protect our families and our property, detect, prevent crimes, restore the peace, uphold the law, ensure justice, and make the city of Memphis a safer community. And whereas this nation is experiencing a shortage of commissioned officers and emergency personnel, the city of Memphis wishes to celebrate the promotions within our public safety divisions. Now therefore be it resolved that the Memphis City Council stands in solidarity with our public safety personnel and designates today, January 7, 2025, as Public Safety Promotion Day in the city of Memphis, and that the citizens are thus encouraged to understand the importance of supporting our public safety personnel, adopted this 7th day of January 2025. With that, I so move.
Thank you, Chairman Canali, new position. And thank you to this council. This is truly an honor for our newly promoted public safety officials to be recognized in this forum. I remember each time I was promoted through the ranks in my career, and every time it was a very, very special time. And I will say that these individuals that we are recognizing today, they weren't promoted because they've been here. They were promoted because of their commitment to the citizens of Memphis, for their careers, for their preparation, and for their creativity and innovation and agility and doing something different in the Memphis Police Department. And so as I call their names, I want them to come forward so that they can be recognized. The first person being recognized today is permanently appointed as Assistant Chief of Police, Assistant Chief Sharonda Hampton. Please come forward. The next person is Deputy Chief Webb Kirkdoffer over Uniform Patrol. Deputy Chief Sharon Cunningham over Administration. Deputy Chief Martin Kula over Strategies and Special Projects. Absolutely. Deputy Chief Terrence Jackson is known as T.D. Jackson over Investigations. Absolutely. The next individuals are promoted to Colonel Gerard Tusnick, Ridgeway Station. Colonel Vicky Shabazz, Austin Peace Station. Colonel Karen Rudolph, Crump Station. Colonel Alvin Clark, North Main Station. We're also recognizing our majors. We have 4 majors promoted. I think only one was able to be here tonight, and that is Major Billy Bird going to Rain Station. Others that are not here is Major Adam Lewis, Major Brent Williams, and Major Milton Gonzalez. And I also like to recognize the new Chief of Staff, Major Chris Parker, who is also here tonight. Thank you again, Chairman. We appreciate this, and I'm certain that these individuals are not going to let anybody down. Thank you.
Thank you, colleague. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mayor Young, would like to make a few comments. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chairman. It's an honor to be here on your first day in the role. I know y'all passed the gavel earlier. I'm sorry I wasn't down here for it. I wanted to come and say hello and congratulate all of the individuals who have been promoted. These are the best and the brightest of MPD. We're really excited. Their team has been working really, really hard over the past year and looking forward to taking it even higher in this year. I want to thank City Council. You guys have been great, and I know that you guys have had a lot of work going on with MPD in your various districts and precincts, and I know that these individuals are up to the task, and so thank you again. I also want to acknowledge the Humanitarian Award winners, David and Yvonne Acey. Thank you for everything that you do for this community. You all are all-stars. We love you, we appreciate you, and we value what you mean to this community. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor Young. Madam Comptroller, would you please call item number 5?
Item number 5 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a planned development at the subject property located at 1389 Fairfax Street. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is PD 24-16.
Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 5, PD 2416. This is an auto repair business in North Memphis. It was sent down from Planning and Zoning with a recommendation of rejection.
That item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Do any members of this body wish to see a presentation from DPD? Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Have there been any updates to this presentation?
Brett Ragsdale with the Division of Planning and Development. We don't have any updates to our presentation, but I know the applicant is here and they had some photos that they wanted to share, but our presentation remains the same in recommendation.
Okay. Chair, I'd just like to see the updates from the
All right. Mr. Bray, would you please approach the podium?
Bray, 2950 Stage Plaza North. Brett, can we pull that up so that we can show the updated pictures? We talked to several of the council members after the meeting last time, and was hoping we'd get some visits to the site. But Mr. Bright has spent the last 3 weeks trying to get the site cleaned up. It would look, to look more like it would on the site plan that's in the PD application, and that's what Mr. Ragsdale's pulling up now. One of the points that I wanted to make, and I made earlier this afternoon to some of the council members, when this whole thing got started, Mr. Bright, when he wanted to start this, he went to codes, he pulled all the proper permits. They issued the permits on this site because at that time they believed that the zoning of the site allowed this use in this location. It was later, about a year and a half ago, that it was determined that the zoning line was in error. And that's what got us to here today, is because the zoning line was read wrong originally. So he went through all the proper processes to get here. He spent the last 3 weeks cleaning up the site and doing the things that he said he would do. He's here today. He's got letters of support from his neighbors that are in support of this. Spoke with Councilwoman Easter Thomas about this prior to the meeting. We would be amenable to a sunset provision on this. We know that there's overall changes that want to be made to this area, and we understand that. But this is there right now. He's cleaned it up. He's done everything that's been asked of him. And we would like to be able to continue operations for at least some period of time. Be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Mr. Bray. Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to say that, when he was here last time and we saw the pictures, it looked kind of bad, but he has taken steps to clean up. And afterwards, I did speak with him, and in talking to him, I do feel like he is doing as much as possible to keep the streets a solid street. The residents and the neighborhoods, some of them are elderly, but even though he didn't have anything to do with the zoning over there and already had this piece of land, and we are asking him to keep it clean and everything, I think the value add that he brings in terms of trying to do what's right by the community is important and should be considered as well. I do like the thought of having a sunset clause to it, but I just wanted to add that sometimes there's value in having someone like him on a street when there's elderly or women, or it might not be the best scenario. And again, I think that's something that we really are going to have to be aggressive in coming up few months in terms of the zoning and getting all of that together, so this won't happen. But that's not his fault. So I just wanted to add that, and I'm glad to see that he was able to get everything aligned and is on the right track of keeping it that way.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I talked with the applicants earlier today, and I do hear what Councilwoman Logan is saying. I agree with some points of it, but I think the premise of it is, yes, the reason that they're here is because of an issue with whatever happened with code and the agreements and the applicants back then. But I don't think that we should take this as an opportunity to ignore the future ways we should be thinking about our neighborhood. I am glad that you all accepted the sunset to be placed on there. What, you saying no? Because that's going to change what I'm saying.
I'm not saying no. I just want to speak.
Sir, hold on one second. If you give us your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Aaron Bright. I live at 1375 Fairfax Street, also at 1389 Fairfax Street, which is the property that they're talking about on this map. Sometimes in life, people get sick, and I didn't want to admit this, but I've been sick for about 8 months. I came down with prostate cancer. I go take my treatment every morning for the last 30 days, so but anyway, I did what I had to do. But I've been in farming for 30 years, and I moved over there by my mom because she was sick, and she's 94 years old. I bought this property 7-8 years ago as EMP to do my business so I can support my family. I don't know, I failed, but I got back up. And I don't know, nothing wrong with that. I did everything right. I didn't cheat. When I built this place, I put money in it, and everything I did was right. I don't know why am I getting punished for this now. So I don't understand it.
I just want to extend just my prayers and thoughts to you. You did not have to let us know that, but that does let some of us extend our well thoughts of you as you're going through this time. Yes, I do understand that. However, with these circumstances, that still does not change the position in which I spoke with Mr. Bray on earlier. He said that you all would be in agreement to a sunset clause on this, and that it would follow essentially 3 years or maybe. But as I stated in the council meeting prior, before the year was over, we're looking at a totally new direction of us getting away from all of these zoning mistakes that folks have made in the past that is not in alignment to where our communities should be environmentally, health-wise, and how we need to really see the aesthetics and alignment of our neighborhoods. With these circumstances, I did say that I would be amenable to a sunset clause, but that's only if you as the applicant and Mr. Bray are willing to take that. If the sunset clause is not on the table, then my vote will be a staunch no.
No, we are agreeable to a sunset clause.
You sure?
Yes.
I'm agreeable to a sunset clause, but it's a lot of circumstances that I guess you guys are not understanding. The house, the property that I got next door is also commercial. It's in the books as commercial. It's 69 Fairfax Street also.
Yes, sir, I understand that. And as I told Mr. Bray, we're working on downzoning the entire area. So this isn't just a circling out you because you came here for a zoning variance. We're looking at downzoning the whole stretch of that area of Hyde Park, Hollywood, North Memphis, all of our environmentally worn neighborhoods. We're trying to downzone that areas, and that's been a part of the 3.0 conversations that started last year with the 5-year renewal. So even if this wasn't on the agenda, the topic and the issue would still be relevant and folks would still be working towards being able to do that. So within that time frame of us working with 3.0, having those neighborhood conversations, working with planning and zoning, seeing what more opportunities and options can we have for the parcels that are in our neighborhood, that would make it more amenable for a sunset clause. So I understand exactly to the T what you presented. That still doesn't change the nature of how this neighborhood needs to go to be able to support folks in the future.
I understand.
So I don't want to belabor the point on this. I do respect what you are doing for your family. And as I said before, as you shared that information, my deepest extension of condolences and prayers for what you're navigating through health-wise. But we're talking about the vitality of a neighborhood. And it's more than me, it's more than you. We're talking about the whole neighborhood. So whether it's Fairfax, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Tunica, whether it's Hyde Park, we're looking at downzoning of all of it and how to make sure that it's more congruent and able to support the generations that are to come up so that they don't have to live under the circumstances that you and I currently live on, because I don't stay too far from where this is. So that's where I'm coming from with that. If you all are putting this as amended with the January 2027 sunset clause, then I'm all for voting for it. But if not, then I would vote no, and I would ask my colleagues to also do the same.
We are agreeable to that.
So will you state that, I'm sorry, Dr. East Thomas, would you state that sunset clause again for the record?
January 2027? Is
Okay.
that 3 years from now? Oh, no. 28. Okay, let's do November 2027.
Councilwoman Cooper Sutton.
Point of information, please, before we call the question. The 2027, the sunset clause?
Sunset. So,
okay.
Mr. Ragsdale, if you want to explain in zoning terms, sunset
Yes,
clause
please.
Yes, Brett Ragsdale, DPD. So a sunset provision we would essentially put a condition on this approval that the approved PD would expire, and we would have a date certain, I think either January 1st or January 15th or January 31st of 2027. So on that date, the plan development is no longer approved and would have to cease, the operations would have to cease. It would revert back to the underlying zoning that is there.
Would it be 2028?
November 2027.
November, and we can set a date, November 1st, 2027. That's a suggestion.
November 1st, 2027. Thank you.
Dr. Warren, you're recognized.
Thank you. So I want to make sure that I understand this completely. what's going on is that when you bought this property, you thought it had the use that you're using it for. Is that correct?
That's correct. And code issued the permits for him to.
And he got code issued permits and things like that.
Correct.
And then somehow we found out that it wasn't the zone for that. Is that correct?
Correct. We have better maps now than we did years ago. And so he got a code violation.
In my mind, you know, it looks like you got bureaucratic disease. This is bureaucratic disease, and it's our fault. We messed this up.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, Dr. Warren, but I just wanted to clarify, and Mr. Bray, I know we've talked a lot about this, and I think that we did discover a zoning issue, but we don't find any permits that were issued except a demolition permit. So there weren't any permits issued for the use or...
So he forgot to get a business permit.
Well, in the construction permit side, there are no permits. We don't see any in the system.
He does have the business permit. I mean, the construction. The only thing with the constructed was a fence.
Okay.
Can you say it again, Mr. Brett? Couldn't hear you.
I mean, there's no building permit issued for this because the only thing that was constructed was a fence. I mean, this is a car lot.
So it's a car lot. So. Yeah. He needs, Mr. Zena?
So, John Zena, Planning and Development. A building permit is required for a fence, first of all. Okay. Second of all, certificate of occupancy would also be required, which has not been issued on this.
Okay, so we have both of those things that happened. Is this your first business, sir?
I did. I got a business.
Is it your first? It's your first business? First time you had a business?
No, it's not.
You've had them before?
I had a business before, yeah.
Did you get a business permit before?
Yes, I have.
And did you have a business permit for this?
Yes, I did.
And so we're saying, what's going on with this? It seems like a disconnect.
A business license is issued by the county clerk. What we're speaking to is a building permit through Office of Construction Code Enforcement.
And that's for the fence?
That's also subject to a building permit by the Office of Construction Code Enforcement.
Does he have anything else on there but the fence?
We do not see any issued permits other than a demolition permit in our system.
And there's no other structure on the property but the fence, right?
Like I said, we do not have an issued building permit for this property, at least at 1389 Fairfax.
I get it, but I mean, I probably are guilty of this. I think I put up fences before. It seems like almost DEFCON 10 to make him not be able to have his business that supports his family. So I don't really think you did this maliciously. It doesn't seem that way. I'm going to like to hear from other colleagues and see what they think about this. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir. You have one comment.
I want to say that I lived on that street for 60 years. I knew the people who had both of the properties next to me, because we live right next door to this place. It was a business. Then, for 41 years, it's been a business, and it's been commercial, okay? And as I grew up, I know him named Mr. Posey, and another guy named was Mr. Calhoun, and they did cars there all their lives.
Councilman Carlisle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to try and synthesize this down so we can continue to move forward, and it's not to make it light or like the body's not thought about this or deliberated. But here's kind of what I see. It sounds like we're at a crossroads about what was the intent, what is the legal understanding, and where the direction the neighborhood's going. No council may bind a future council. My advice to you, in order to carry on, instead of go back and forth with these two and go back and forth. It's just, we either can hold it and you guys can spend another 2 weeks figuring it out, or I'd take the deal on the table and perhaps over the coming years as Mr. Zena and the current representative, Dr. East Thomas, are going through this, perhaps hearts and minds will change, and the council can always come back and reapply for an extension of the sunset. But my advice to you today would be to take the deal on the table, the support from the member, and then utilize your time over the coming years to continue to reach out to the neighborhood. And if Dr. Easter Thomas, or maybe even past that, there's another representative and the neighbors are with you, they can always come back and amend that sunset or amend those provisions. But from where I'm sitting today, just looking at the mood and the temperature of the room, we're either going to waste a whole lot of time and hold it, or we can get you going on and get your business operating. And hopefully, one, you come out a cancer survivor, most importantly, and two, that your business reaches out to the neighborhood and you built those bonds. And I know you've been there for 6 years, and I'm not in your neighborhood, but I'm just trying to kind of tell you where I think the room's at. And I think the best thing to do is take the deal on the table, build those relationships, and come back and amend, and you can get it, hopefully, maybe potentially amended as they go through and see what's possible. I think that's fair. So with that, I yield the floor.
We're agreeable to the sunset.
And for what it's worth, I understand that I'm going through a similar situation where I recognize, zoning letter, you learn every real estate deal you do, whether it's an environmental issue, a title issue, a zoning letter that says you can and can't do this. And, I know DPD does a tremendous amount to try and get resources out, and maybe we'll have more conversations about how the council can help give them more funding to get more education and resources out, because it's a buzzsaw when you run into it, you don't know it, and we want to be able to support. And I was just leaning over to my colleague here talking about the hardest part is, and I know that Dr. Easter Thomas feels probably as strongly as anybody up here about wanting to support locally owned minority businesses, especially startups. So that's not lost on anybody up here, for what it's worth. Anyway, I'll yield the floor, but I want you to know that you are supported, and we'll do what we can. So thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you're recognized.
Yes, and I just wanted to say, you made a couple comments that there's been several businesses there for many, many years. And I was one of the ones that opposed, because we wanted our neighborhoods and our communities to look different. And for you to muster up the strength to get it to the point that you got it at speaks volumes to me. And as a Black minority business owner, we don't want to shut you down, because I mean, I'm looking at it in a different perspective. The zoning was not your issue, and I concur with what my colleague, Councilman Chase, just said. And hopefully that your health would my prayers that that God will show you favor there, and that you can keep up the way that it looks. And if you see that it's failing, could you just let us know that you are not able to? And I think that open communication with your councilwoman, as being the single district person, and myself and Smiley and Janika, we are your super district people. If you see where because anything can happen, and I don't want you to think, but if you're failing and you cannot maintain that, we need to know. We need to know that. And so I support you in that. And I yield the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Seeing no more members in the queue, colleagues, we're going to vote on this as amended.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item number 6.
Item number 6 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 4965 Summer Avenue. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. Case number is SUP 2411.
Madam Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 6, SUP 2411, was sent down from Planning and Zoning with a recommendation of approval. And this was a special use permit to allow vehicle sales. And there was a motion for approval.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, any member wish to see a presentation? Very good. Please prepare the voting screen for item 6, Madam Comptroller.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. And Chairman Canale, yes. Please show Council Member Logan as voting yes as well on this item.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 7.
Item number 7 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 5709 Mount Moriah Road. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is SUP 24-27.
Madam Vice Chair Swearingen Washington.
Thank you, Chair. Item SUP 2427 was sent down from Planning and Zoning with a recommendation of approval. This is a special use permit to allow vehicle rental. It is located on Mount Moriah Road and it's consistent. It has other car dealerships in that area. And as I said, it was sent down with approval.
Thank you. This item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Any member wish to see a presentation? Very good. Please prepare the voting screen for item 7.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 8.
Number 8 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 485 North Hollywood Street. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is SUP 24-34.
Madam Vice Chair Swearingen Washington.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 8, SUP 2434, was sent down from Planning and Zoning with a recommendation of approval. Councilman Carlisle had a question about the street closure. I would like to recognize him at this time to see if he has some additional insight that he would like to add.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I think I spoke with Mr. Osborne. We were going to get with the applicant. I think both DPD and the applicant were open to it. The question was a matter of process of whether we, and I may need Brett up here to help me with this, but whether or not a alleyway closure application would be followed or we would do it through the cities. And this is the term I'm looking for that I can't remember. This, we can deed it over, but it's got a specific. Yeah, thank you. Excess right of way, but we didn't quite have time to get into the details, then we got into the holidays. But I think all parties relatively were amicable. There's just a few details that need to get worked out, specifically with the adjacent property owner. When you close an alleyway or when you close a street in general, when there's not an agreement, just in case you want, just fun fact of the day, it gets split right down the middle. Half the street goes to one property owner, the other half goes to the other. You're now responsible for paying taxes and maintaining it. Well, I think we wanted to figure out some time, but I don't also want to slow the applicant down. So I'll defer to Mr. Bray and we can work it out. But that's where we are. It's a little bit more complicated. We have a path, but we were through the holidays.
Yeah, we're agreeable to it, but we can come back to this body and make that request for excess right of way at another time, or we can file the street and alley application. Brett and I have not had a conversation about it at this point about the best way to proceed.
Generally, this would excess right of way. I think it would go through the street and alley closure process. So we could definitely look at that as a secondary.
Imagine that. You'll see me again.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the rub for us, or at least for me, is you don't want to slow down the business from getting open. You also don't want to force the owner to take it, but honestly, it's in the best, in my opinion, humble opinion, it's in the best interest of the city to make them take it. One, it becomes tax producing, although it's minimal, it's de minimis. But ultimately, they're responsible for it, and it cleans the whole thing. It makes it cleaner in the long term, like down the road. But I know, so.
And Councilman Carlisle, we could offer a condition that we could add to it that would this was an option. The applicant shall make a reasonable effort to close the abutting right-of-way associated with Parkway Place.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I accept that. Yeah, okay, great. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Colleagues, this item was moved by Swearingen Washington and seconded by Spinoza. So we're going to vote on item 8 as amended.
Mr. Chairman, really quickly, we did mention these other friendly amendments at committee. I don't know if they were officially adopted, so we would like to respectfully request those be officially adopted tonight, just so that all T's are crossed. Happy to answer questions about them.
Yeah, you want to read those into the record, please?
Sure. So condition 5 will be changed to read, the currently fenced rear storage area shall be used for additional vehicle parking, period. The rear barbed wire / chain link fence shall be removed. And then condition 6B will be changed to read, the rear barbed wire / chain link fence has been removed and the rear storage area made to comply with the relevant UDC standards to be used for vehicular parking. And we worked with the applicant to come up with that language and we're in agreement.
Thank you. So, colleagues, Madam Comptroller, you can please prepare the voting stream for item 8. Colleagues, remember that this item is as amended. Please cast your vote, council members.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. And Chairman Canale, yes.
That item.
Yes. Please show Walker as voting yes on this item.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 10.
Is a zoning ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located at 485 North Hollywood Street by taking the land out of the residential single-family use district and including it in the commercial mixed-use district. Up for third and final reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. It was held from December 17th. The case number is Z2410. The ordinance number is 5924.
Madam Vice Chair Swearingen Washington.
Thank you, Chair. This item was sent down from Planning and Zoning with a recommendation of approval, and this ordinance is being sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Any members wish to see a presentation from DPD? All right, Madam Comptroller, please prepare the voting screen for item 10. Members, please cast your votes.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to the MLGW fiscal consent agenda, starting with item 19.
Item number 19 is a resolution awarding contract number 12490, landfill services for MLGW, to Memphis Wrecking Company, Inc., in the funded amount of $777,600. Item number 20 is a resolution awarding the ratification of purchase order number 7060792 to National Water Services for Davis Pumping Station High Service Pump Number 6 and motor in the amount of $224,317. Item number 21 is a resolution awarding change number 3 to contract number 12286, MLGW Utility Payment Centers for First Tech Incorporated, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $239,172. Item number 22 is a resolution awarding change number 1 to contract number 12563, MLGW Flower Planting, Mulch Maintenance, and Turf Area Management, formerly contract number C2649 with APS Facility Maintenance, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $92,735.16. Item number 23 is a resolution awarding contract number 3, approving change number 3 to contract number 12460, Bridgewater Consulting with Bridgewater Consulting, Inc., to ratify, extend, and change the project scope in the funded amount of $84,694.28. Item number 24 is a resolution approving change number 2 to contract number 12291, formerly purchase requisition number 5062182, MLGW Customer Utility Bill Folder / Inserter, Beale Street Landing, with Bell & Howell, Inc., to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $36,640. And finally, item number 25 is a resolution approving change number 2 to contract number 12261, formerly purchase requisition number 5059363, Utility Bill Folder / Inserter Equipment and Software Maintenance with Bell & Howell, LLC, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $138,490. And that concludes your MLGW fiscal consent.
Well done. Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
But you can see when people talk.
Item was moved by Spinoza, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Chairwoman, Vice Chairwoman Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to our consent agenda, starting with item 11.
On our consent agenda that starts with item number 11, ordinance to amend Title 10, Chapter 20, Miscellaneous Offenses and Provisions of the Code of Ordinances of Memphis, Tennessee, to add provisions relative to the regulation of deadly weapons and extreme protection orders. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5926 is sponsored by Councilman Warren. Item number 12 has been held. Item number 13, our engineering items, a resolution approving the final plat for Broad Arts PD 2023-024 and accepting bond as security. There's a request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5468. Item number 14 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for Chick-fil-A store number 5759, Raleigh-LaGrange Road and Witten Road, and accepting bond as security. Request for same night minutes. The contract number is CR-5469. Item number 15 is a resolution accepting public improvements for Stratford Center, contract number 5371, and releasing the bond. There is a request for same night minutes. And also, we have a item up for first reading. It's an ordinance to name the Ed Rice Community Center pool for Ossie Lewis Jr. The ordinance number is 5927. It is sponsored by the Memphis City Council, and there was a request to add this on to the consent agenda for the first reading. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes our consent agenda items.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Madam Vice Chair Swearingen Washington.
Thank you, Chair. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Consent agenda was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. We have two members in the queue. Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I need to disclose that I have a potential financial conflict on item number 12 and maybe recusing myself. Excuse me, from the consent agenda vote. Made it.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Green, you're recognized. Can we get Councilman Carlisle some water?
Yes, somebody over there, please help Councilman Carlisle. I only wanted to note on the gun referendum ordinance that in committee we all asked to be added as sponsors, and it was still listed as just Councilman Warren.
Noted. That will be changed for the next reading. Thank you, Councilwoman. Colleagues, seeing no other members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for consent agenda.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
Madam Comptroller, please show Carlisle as a recusal.
Oh,
He hit the wrong button.
okay, please. For the record, Councilman Carlisle did make a statement of recusal before the vote. Please show Walker as voting yes.
All right, so that noted that Carlisle is a recusal. That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 16, the fiscal consent agenda.
Item number 16 is a resolution to accept new forensic software valued at $2,800 on behalf of the Memphis Police Department Internet Crimes Against Children unit donated from Operation Underground Railroad. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Police Services. There is a request for same night minutes. Number 17 is a resolution to accept new grant funds in the amount of $963,000 from the Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Police Services, and there is a request for same night minutes. Item number 18 is a resolution to accept new grant funds in the amount of $963,000 from the Department of Justice Office of Burn Discretionary Community Project Grant. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Police Services, and there is a request for same night minutes. Mr. Chairman, that concludes our fiscal consent agenda items.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation to accept all of the grant funds for these three resolutions, and I so move.
Fiscal consent was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
Fiscal consent passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 33.
Item number 33 is on our add-ons. It's a resolution for Memphis Fire Services to accept grant funding for FY 2025 in the FY 2025 in the amount of $9,121 from the FY 24 Tennessee Emergency Management Agency's Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness to be used for travel for training. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman White.
The committee met and approved, and I so move.
Items moved by White, seconded by Carlisle. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 34.
Item number 34 is a resolution for Memphis Police Services to accept grant funding for FY 2025 in the amount of $248,000 from the Federal FY 24 Port Security Grant Program through the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for Special Operations Equipment. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman White.
The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move. Thank you.
Item was moved by White, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for 34. Members, please cast your votes.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. And Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 35.
Item number 35 is a resolution to acknowledge receipt of the certified election results of the November 5th, 2024 election. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the Memphis City Council, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Vice Chair Swearingen Washington.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Madam Comptroller, the screen is still showing 34. There you go. All right. 35 was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 36.
Item number 36 is an appointment to the Memphis and Shelby County Sports Authority Board, Michael Fulton, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Easter Thomas, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for 36.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us back to the regular agenda with item 26.
Mr. Pullman.
We just did Michael Fulton. Yeah, we just did 36. Go back to regular agenda item 26.
Item number 26 is an initial resolution authorizing and providing for the issuance and sale by the City of Memphis, Tennessee of sanitary sewerage system revenue bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $70 million pursuant to and in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Tennessee Code annotated as amended for the purposes of financing the cost of various improvements, additions, and extensions to the sanitary sewerage system of the city. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
The item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Carlisle. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the screen for 26.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Please call item 27.
Item number 27 is a series resolution authorizing and providing for the issuance and sale by the City of Memphis, Tennessee of sanitary sewerage system revenue bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $70 million pursuant to and in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Tennessee Code annotated as amended for the purposes of financing the cost of various improvements, additions, and extension to the sanitary sewage system of the city, authorizing and approving the sale of such bonds pursuant to a competitive public sale with the execution thereof on the sale date or pursuant to a private negotiated sale through the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement between the city and the underwriter, prescribing the former and certain details of the bonds, and authorizing the chief financial officer of the city to determine such additional details, appointing the paying and registration agent for the bonds, authorizing and approving the preparation and distribution of a preliminary official statement relating to such bonds, and approving the form thereof, approving an official statement in connections with the issuance, sale, and delivery of such bonds, and authorizing all legal actions and other necessary matters required with respect to the foregoing. All council districts, this resolution is sponsored by the administration.
Madam Vice Chair, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, recommended approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen for 27. Members, please cast your votes for item 27.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Please call item 28.
Item number 28 is a resolution establishing a committee to honor City of Memphis employees who lose their lives in the line of duty, all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Canali.
Councilwoman White.
Okay, that's number 28. Perfect. The committee met and recommended approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by White, second by Carlisle. There are two members in the queue. Councilman Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not sure if we did this in the committee or not. I thought we did, but I know I would like to be added as a sponsor. I thought maybe everyone was added as a sponsor. Thank you.
All right, please make note that all 13 council members will co-sponsor that. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to amend this. I think you had given us some option if we thought of someone else and the sanitation workers. Could we add them?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And MLGW was added by Councilman Warren. So if you'll make note of that, Madam Comptroller, this is as amended with all 13 council members co-sponsoring.
Thank you.
Colleagues, please cast your votes for item 28.
Thank you.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Smiley, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. And Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Please take us to item 29.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 29 is a resolution supporting the City of Memphis's Safe Streets and Roads for all grant award and creating the Neighborhood Infrastructure Fund to allocate funds for district-specific road safety enhancements. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Spinoza.
Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank all my colleagues for voting unanimously in support of this. Ashley just passed this out, so just to touch on the high points. The second, whereas the City of Memphis was awarded almost $0.2 million in federal funds with a almost $3.3 million match from Accelerate Memphis to support critical safety projects, including intersection redesign, quick build safety strategies, public education campaigns, and data-driven safety analysis. So this resolution puts an additional $2.1 million into this. $300,000 per council district is the way it's laid out today and what we voted yes on. So excited to bring this to the group, and I appreciate everybody's support.
We move that electronically, please, sir. 29 was moved by Spinoza, seconded by Warren. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canali, yes.
That item passes. Please take us to item 30.
Item number 30 is a resolution to allocate and appropriate $2,600,000 in City Council community grant funds to nonprofit agencies for FY 2025. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the Budget Committee.
Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
The committee met. It did recommend approval, and I so move.
Thank you, Councilman. Item was moved. Madam Comptroller, it's still showing 29 on my screen. Great. We do that again, Councilman? Don't, you don't have to repeat it, just electronically, please. Thank you. Item was moved by Carlisle, seconded by Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen for 30.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please call item 31.
Item number 31 is a resolution to amend the council FY 2025 grant allocations, all council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Ford Sr.
Councilman Carlisle, you're recognized.
The committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Carlisle, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the screen for 31.
Carlisle, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
Logan, yes.
Please show council members Logan is voting yes and Councilmember Cooper Sutton is voting yes.
31 passes. That brings us to our same night minute items. Madam Vice Chair, I believe you have the same night minute items.
Thank you, Chair. The same night minute items are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 32, 34, 35, and 36.
Madam Vice Chair, I think we need to add item 33 to that list as well.
And 33.
Staff, can you check, make sure we got that correct?
So it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
Okay.
I so move.
Same night minute items were moved by Swearingen Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Ashley.
Members, please cast your votes for same night minutes.
Carlisle, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Vice Chair Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. White, yes. Chairman Canale, yes.
Same night minute passes. Colleagues, that brings us to the end of our meeting agenda. We have any public comment cards? Thank you. Alice Hart. Ms. Hart, as you approach the podium, if you'd please give us your name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Alice Hart. My address is 1919 DuPont, Memphis, Tennessee, 38127. I'm just coming to first thank you all. I don't know about the allocations for my nonprofit, Know Thy Worth. I've been here before, but I just wanted to introduce myself as well as tell y'all I sent the email on December the 12th to everybody on the council. Also, I sent it to the analysts in November of last year. But basically, I just want y'all to know who I am and what I do in the community, from community giveaways. I'm sorry for my voice. Giving back to the community, doing scholarship for minority students, college tours as well. But my goal is to eventually get something in the Highland Heights area, like a park for the kids or a building for my nonprofit so I can do more in the community. So if you didn't support my nonprofit for allocations this year, next year when you see Know Thy Worth on the list, please donate and support my nonprofit. And I also have a fundraiser dinner coming on January the 25th where I'll be raising funds for my nonprofit. I have a flyer if you want one. I have given one already, but if you want one, I will stay around to give some out as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. Latricia Adams, if you give us your name and address for the record, you have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Latricia Adams. My address is 655 South Riverside Drive, Unit 504B, Memphis, Tennessee 30103. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all this evening. I came before you this evening to raise some serious concerns regarding the Share the Pennies program, which I did share with you all via email. It was on Christmas Eve, but it was a pertinent issue on December the 24th, 2024 for your reference and review. I was informed, and also I'll be remiss not to thank Councilwomen Cooper Sutton and Councilwoman Easter Thomas for your responses. I was informed by a local government staff member who will remain anonymous per their request back in December of 2023, alongside another member of the general public, that there were contractors with MLGW Share the Pennies program that does not have the federally mandated EPA-led renovation, repair, and painting program training and certification, which is RRP for short. We addressed this particular issue with the MLGW staff member 5 times. 4 of the 5 times, this particular staff member said that it was under investigation. And the final time that we corresponded with this particular employee, we received an email from another anonymous contractor that there was actually admission of fault, that there were existing contractors that perform weatherization services with Share the Pennies that are not certified and or they have not stayed up to date with their certification. With one particular address in particular, post-weatherization services, this particular home tested at astronomically high levels of lead paint via a very reliable source through a Tioga test. In addition to that, we received countless complaints with there being suspicions and fears that there may be other homes with participants in the Share the Pennies programs that have received services from people who have not been trained appropriately. Essentially, without this training, you don't know what you're supposed to do as far as to ensure that you don't disturb lead paint inside of the home, which proves to be extremely dangerous. I know I'm out of time. I did recommend that from this body that we receive support, that we maintain integrity and fidelity of the Share the Pennies program, and that we urge MLGW to better communicate with local housing and lead hazard reduction programs, including the city of Memphis, as well as to do their due diligence to ensure that they have certified contractors.
Ms. Adams, if you could wrap it up, please.
Sure, that they have certified contractors so that they don't spread lead paint dust in the most vulnerable communities' houses. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for coming and sharing it. And yeah, can we, Charity, Ms. Cole, can we make a note to find that email from Ms. Adams and send it to President McGowan, just to allow him to review and do any responses via email, since they aren't here today? Well, they left, but just to go ahead and do that so we can just make sure that we get any of those questions answered, and then be able to share it back with Ms. Adams. I know she mentioned Councilwoman Cooper Sutton responded to, but Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, do you want to be CC'd on that, copied on that email to President McGowan? Okay.
And also, President McGowan did receive that correspondence on December the 17th, but we unfortunately have not heard back from him.
I'll chunk it up to the holidays for us, but we'll make sure we send that out, and we can CC Councilwoman Cooper Sutton and then give you a response for that.
Thank you,
We
Ms.
can all
Adams.
have answers.
Thank you, Dr. Isha Thomas.
Thank you, Chair.
Colleagues, that concludes our public comment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. We're adjourned.